Hi everybody, Jo here. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's our brilliant Fairyland extravaganza. I do hope you're going to join in over the next 4 days. We've got lots of fabulous tutorials for the design team. Tracy's got lots of amazing giveaways. And if you're coming down to the shop, please come and say hello. I've got lots of cheeky biscuits. There's going to be lots of brews and lots of demonstrations. And just, you know what, it'll be good to see you, to have a hug, because we can now, and let's have a crafty catch up in person. If not, if you can't come down and meet us in person, well then we've got all these brilliant online tutorials. So I do hope you'll get yourself comfortable, pull up a chair and enjoy the next 4 days with us. We've got some brilliant new stamps. Now I have to say, when they arrived, I just had to have a play. Now I'm sorry, I know it's the usual colours I go for, but you know what? When I get new stamps and I have things in mind that I already love, I just like to do what I enjoy. And so I'm not going to do anything different today. I'm just going to show you what I do when I get new stamps. And with these new garden stamps, now sorry about the glare on this, but it's because I've used PanPastels and I've used a spray sealant. So maybe if I just move my light a minute, that'll be better. So I've used, and it's a sparkly spray sealant, which is lovely in reality, but it's a nightmare for the camera. So I'll bring my light back in a minute. So this is what I'm going to create. And again, I know it's my usual thing, but these, look at the detail here. These are absolutely gorgeous. Now, if I'd learnt the names, I could tell you. I've got it written here, Wild Summer Flower. Now, to me, it looks almost like, we used to call it something like onion plant. Goodness only knows what. It probably has lots of different names. Grows very tall near some rivers. But I just adore it, so I had to use it. So I'll bring my light back in and let's have a play, shall we? Right, so let's get the light in. Now, because we're using PanPastels, I'm just going to bring in this mat, just because it's the PanPastels, I don't want to get them on my Lavinia mat. And again, you know what I'm like. I have my funny little quirks. And we're going to start off with a piece of the Lavinia, and this is the Multifarious card, and this is the A5 size. So that's what we're using. We'll pop that down there. Now, Eric is in my craft room with me, so recently he's had a habit of snoring on video. So if he does, do apologise. It's not me, I promise you, it is Eric. So we'll start with our PanPastels, and we're going to use 3 colours. So the first one is the Dairylight Yellow. So any yellow, whatever yellow you've got. And then you want an orange, or orange as we keep calling it, don't we, ladies and gentlemen? And this one is just called orange. I thought it might have had a fancy name, but no. And then we'll come in for magenta shade. So obviously that means a deeper magenta, so it's magenta with black in it, so it's a magenta shade. But I could have used red, but I just fancied mixing it up a bit with magenta. Now I'm going to come in with my soft sponges, and because I have these for the colours, let's have a look. So that's my yellow and my orange. Which one's got, that's my magenta. Oh, and orange, there we go. Now, if you remember, so PanPastels, all that means is it is a pastel, like you get in a crayon pastel form, but it's in a shallow container, and that's the pan. So if you remember, you can get paints, they come in pans, and all it means is a shallow container. So it's our pastel in this container. Various ways you can put them on, various tools you can get. For me, I like the sponges just because I find for me I can get a good effect with that. But however you like to apply them, you go ahead and do that. I always recommend holding the sponge flat and literally one swipe, and that will be enough pastel. If you over rub or agitate the surface, because it's almost like a powder, you will almost waste it and end up with a lot on your mat that's wasted. So one swipe for me is often enough. I can go back and pick some more up, can't I? I'm just going to hold my card just to save putting finger marks on. And we're going to start at the top, and very simply we're just going to swipe some yellow across. And again, really easy, side to side. I think I may just go in for another little swipe just to build that colour up. And I'm going just over halfway. I'm going into where I want my orange. And then I'm going to come in with my magenta. So like I do when I'm blending ink, I'm going to go down to the deeper colour now. Swipe this right across. Lovely. And then I'll come into the orange. Oh, which one? I'll use this one for the orange, I think. Swipe with my orange. And we'll start here. And then we'll go up into the yellow. And that's blended beautifully. You don't need to do much at all. I'll have another little bit of orange. I'll pick it up, go back into the orange, and then down into the magenta. And just blend that across. And go up. Yeah, and that's blended beautifully. What I will do is just come back with a little bit of the yellow and go over the yellow-orange mix. Oh, it's alive. Just to blend that. And I'm happy with that. I think that's a lovely, oh, what a lovely sunset. Now we want to create our moon. So I'm going to do that now before I put my pastels away and start my stamping. So I shall get my acetate moon mask. And which one will go for this one, I think? Yep. I'm just going to move it round. I want to pop it sort of here. And I'm going to get one of my applicators. And I think we'll go for a bit of the orange. And I'm actually sort of brushing outwards. What I want to do is get that. You know, when we get sunsets, we get sort of that haze across, especially if it's very warm. And that's why I'm going for lines and not sort of doing circular motions like they normally would. And then if I show you what that looks like. Come on, get up. So that's what we've got. But I think we could make that look a little bit better. Let's introduce just a little bit of the deeper colour. Now we'll start at the bottom. I just want to take a little bit off on here. I don't want to overcook it. Almost randomly. Just add. Slide that off. And very gently just add. So you see how we're looking. Now that's a little bit dark for me, but I am going to soften it up. And the way I'm going to do that, I'm just going to move these out the way. Pop the lids on. Because I'm going to come in with my white. And this is the fine pearl medium. As you know, I adore this. And I'm going to use the applicator for this look. And I'm going to add some of that haze now. And what I'm going to do is once I've added the haze, I'm just going to blend it in lines across. And then you can either use your finger for this. If you want, you can use, I've got one behind me, a biodegradable cotton bud. Got to be honest, I found my finger. And if I just move that across. So if I show you, you see how we're almost building up. I just want it to look like that hazy. I don't want the sun to be the moon to be the main focus, or the sun, it's the sun setting, I suppose. I have this thing in my head with the moon masks being moon masks, circular masks, but obviously I need to remember it's the sun. So I just think it gives that nice, it almost looks like it could be sort of deep in Africa, doesn't it? Mind you, I've never been. It'd be lovely to go though. But this is my English sunset. So wherever you are, I'm sure you can make a sunset to match. Now I'm just going to clean up my moon mask before I put it away. It's very important. I'm just going to wipe it with a wet piece of tissue and then use my Inky Binky, because I don't want to pick that up and it have any ink or PanPastel on it, and then it will just get in the rest of my work. So we'll move this out of the way. I mean, I must admit with PanPastels, if it, at home, I will make 3 or 4 backgrounds in one go. And then I do all my PanPastel work together. What we'll do now is we're going to add some stamping. And when I was looking at the colours of ink for this, we're going to use Nocturne in the VersaFine Clair. We want a little bit of black, a bit of black stamping, but also I was looking for what inks I'd got that were similar sort of colour tones. So I've gone for the Monarch. I'm thinking that's that sort of purpley. We can bring that in. Verdant. Now I know we haven't got any green there, but I just think that lovely citrusy colour will add something. And the summertime, it had to be summertime to go with the oranges. And again, it's lovely when you're just looking at your stamps. Look at the colours. The VersaFine Clair colours are just amazing. What we'll do is we'll stamp our background first. And we're going to come in first with, there's a gorgeous set of 2 stamps called Leaf Spray. And they're absolutely beautiful. And we're going to use those. So I'm going to use the Summertime first. Let's pop these away. And again, me being me, I'm going to turn it on the side. And the reason I'm using the Summertime first is just so that it's a nice tone-on-tone colour. And stamping on top of PanPastel, absolutely beautiful, takes the stamping really well. But also it's a light colour, so it'll give me some stamping in the distance. And again, I can use 1st and 2nd generation. And again, because this is my secret garden in summer, I don't want to make my foliage look like it's sort of soldiers in a row, I always say. I just want it to look quite natural. So we'll have a couple over here and we've got that space. And then we'll give that a wipe. And as I say, in this set, you get 2 lovely stamps. So if I come in with the other leaf spray, and these are going to be so useful. On this one, we'll add the Verdant. We'll just add a few of these in the background. And again, remember you can alter the direction that you stamp them. Let's just have that one there. And then I think we'll have a couple this side. And that's just giving me that lovely, lovely background. I think I just need something a little bit taller there. So do you know what? We'll just have a little there. And again, I know you keep asking, so the reason I turn my ink pads over, it's just a habit I've got into. And it's because with them being a felt ink pad, especially when you've had the ink pad a while, the ink doesn't sit on the top of the ink pad. So I almost get in the habit when I'm using the ink pads, I turn them over and it helps the ink drain down. So it's always on the top of the ink pad when you use it. Funny, isn't it? When you get in these habits. Now, what I'm going to do is stamp the beautiful, the main focus now. And this is this wild summer flower, which I've got to say is just a beautiful, beautiful stamp. And again, look, you can alter if you want them to just almost turn to the side. And we're going to come in with the Monarch for this. Cow parsley, is it? I think we all call different plants different names depending where you live. So let's pop this one here. Such a delicate stamp. And I'm sure I could make a garland, a wreath card with this. Let me just alter the angle of that a bit. And we'll just have another one here. And then no, that will be too big. Let's just have that one there. Let's just so pretty. I think we'll have one more with the large. There's a smaller one. So I think we'll have one more with the large here. And then we'll give that a wipe and we'll bring in the Didier one. Don't know about you, but when I get new stamps, my head comes up with, oh, could you do this? Could you do that? But yes, I'm sure a beautiful summer garland with this will be... I just want to do flower arranging. Is that mad? Does anybody else do that? Okay, that's probably just me. What is it they say? You don't have to be mad to work here, but it sure helps. So we'll have a few of these. I don't want to overdo it, but it is one of those stamps that you will find you're going to be stamping again and again. And I think one more here, don't you? If I turn it round, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Again, if you're not sure, use your acetate. But I'm thinking, do you know what? Let's go for it. And let's just put it on that angle there. Oh, that didn't stamp well, did it? Now, if ever that happens, that's my own fault. I didn't stamp it properly. I literally lifted it up straight away in a rush. Doesn't matter, because we can just... We'll put another one there. And this time I will press it properly. But again, that's the beauty of these videos, that we show you if you do something like that, doesn't matter. You just do it again. Do it over the top, it's not a problem. It's not quite on, but don't worry, we'll distract you from that. I'm certainly not going to start my video again, because at the end of the day, you want to see real things, don't you? What happens when we do things like that? And like I've told you at the minute, oh, the last couple of weeks, just about everything I do, something like that happens. So, going to give that a bit of a blot. Give that chance just to dry. Now, while it does, I want to make myself, on the actual finished piece, I've got this sign here. And this is from a lovely stamp called the Secret Garden stamp. And it's the plaque. But I want a little piece of card. And I'm actually going to just add some PanPastel to this card first. So I'm just going to see what I've got left on my sponges, because I don't want to waste, I don't want to add any more. I just want it to be slightly coloured. Let's add a bit more, that'll be fine. Right, she says, now I've got to find the stamp. Here we go. So it's a Secret Garden sign, and it's actually the sign. So this is going to be gorgeous. You can plant this. I mean, I do think this would look lovely planted up. And, you know, you could always put... I mean, it just reminds me of the sign in my garden when I label things. She says, label things, if only I did. Try to remember what's where. But I just want the top bit. I just want to cut out the Secret Garden bit. I'm not going to use the sign. So I just want that piece. So there we go. That's lovely. So I'm just going to cut that out. Again, it's a good job we keep all these little scraps of paper, isn't it? And again, it's just got lovely little corners, this, so we'll just take a little bit off on those corners. And then we'll file the rubbish in the bin. Now, I just want to add a little bit of detail here. And so to add some colour, I'm going to come in with one of my Signo pens. And this one is violet. Now this is the bit where you might want to just occupy yourself, because I'm actually going to colour each of these. Now if you're going to do this, you may want to think how many times you stamp the flower. But I've got to be honest, it looks so lovely when it's finished. It's well worth doing. But like I say, you may want to fast forward me if if you're watching me on rewind, and I wouldn't blame you if you did. I think Carl wishes sometimes in real life he could fast forward me. But if I show you one of the ones finished, if I can just bring it close, so it really is worth it to just add So we'll do the others. So we'll do this one here. Now you could add glitter. Glitter would be beautiful. Stickles, the glitter glue. I'm not sure about liquid pearls. I think the actual flower heads may be quite close. I don't have much luck with those if I put them too close. But you experiment and see. I'm just going to add a little bit on here. And I mean, gems would look nice, but I personally think you'd go through a lot of gems. So I think the gel pen for me is a perfect answer. And as I say, you will spend time getting these absolutely beautiful. But honestly, it's so worth it because it looks so lovely. And this violet colour is just beautiful. I mean, like I say, what a difference. You can see, obviously, the side I've coloured and the side I haven't. So bear with me. And we'll just carry on. So I hope you're going to enjoy these 4 days. Tracy puts a lot of hard work organising things, and Anya's an absolute brick, honestly. I always find, especially recently, I just seem to have not been with it, and the questions I've been asking her, and she's so good, bless her. She always comes back, oh, it's no trouble. So good. If it wasn't for the whole team, you know, they work so hard organising all these things. But I have to say, it's like the design team. Oh, we love it when we find out there's going to be new stamps. So lucky recently, we've had new stencils, new stamps. Lots of lovely things to play with. So I hope you enjoy it. And I hope some of you are going to pop down and see us over the next couple of days. So good meeting everybody last time. And those of you that live miles away, at least you can still join in, can't you? You can leave a comment. It's lovely to know if you've watched and what you think. And I know those of you have such lovely friends abroad, over the pond and also down under. And I know you have to wait a while till you get your stamps. But you know what? They'll be worth waiting for. And at least you can watch the videos, get lots of inspiration, so that when you do get them, I mean, let's face it, if you like this, and I hope you do, you could make yourself some backgrounds ready, so that when you get your stamps, I mean, this would actually look beautiful as a DL card, or a square card. Now, is anybody looking and shouting, telling me I've missed one? I bet you are, you know, because you do that to me, don't you? What's this miss? There we go. I think... And do you know what? I've got to be honest. You can't tell I misstamped that, can you? But just go there. Look at that. I think we've got away with that. Beautiful pen, that violet colour. I'm so pleased with that. And it just goes well with orange. Not something I would have normally put together. Now, my Secret Garden stamp. Now look, so that I can decoupage anywhere. And I like that just so that this is my secret garden. Now, before I put it on, I'm just going to add a little bit of some white dots at the top. And then I'm going to come in with some splats. I just want some white splats. Now, if you're not into your white Posca splats, look away now. So let's just add a few. So I've shaken my pen up ready. And this is a new one. So I know we're going to get lots. Don't want too many. Don't want to overcook the pizza. No blizzard. This is summer, not winter. So I'll just give my mat a wipe. Put that away. Mr. Inky Binky, come on, clean it up. And we'll get our bittity boppity glue. You know, I always struggle over that, don't I? Tracy, next time, can we just have Lavinia glue, please? So, again, I'm just going to... I told you everything's alive. Right, and I'm going to put this over this side here. There. Now, I think this design is crying out for either a couple of butterflies, dragonflies. I'm going to leave mine empty. But I think you could add those, maybe one of the fairy foragers. I like it just with the flowers. But I always think it's nice to think what else you could add. Look through your stash. You know, this is just inspiration with the new stamps. And I just wanted to keep it that I just use the new stamps. But we've got so many of our stamps already that, as I say, a couple of butterflies, maybe the birds flying, or like I say, or a fairy forager, so many you could add. So if I bring in my finished design, so as I say, the difference here with this being PanPastel, what I did was let my Posca dry and then I sprayed it with a spray varnish just so it would seal the whole design. And you can get matte ones, glossy ones. I used one with sparkle, and that's, as I say, when you get the sheen, the sparkle. So I hope you enjoyed that. And you know what, I'm not going to be able to get them both in camera shot, am I, at the end like we normally do. So we may have to just toggle them like that. I know, do you know what, I'm just going to put that one over there and leave you with the one we made today. So thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoy the next 3 days. Please, you know, let us know, join in, let us know that you're there watching. That would be lovely. Anyway, I'm sending you a big crafty hug from me, and you take care. Thanks for everything. See you again soon. Bye for now.